Hi guys, Tuger here with a new video, and this video will be a semi-review for Project Epoch. Again, I think the best review I could do is once I'm level like 55, 54, 50, because then I have probably seen everything that Project Epoch could give to me until you have raids, obviously, and arenas, which is not going to come out directly. Currently, I'm leveling my axe progression, so I'm going to do that really quickly while we are talking about Project Epoch. Now, I have done pretty much every single dungeon except BFD because I skipped it. I was over leveling it anyways, and people would not invite me. I have done most of the new quests. I even did the Blood Arena or the Arena whatever quest where you kill bosses every single time, like in waves, for the axe. So we did get the axe, and overall, if I have to say what type of server it is, for me, because I'm playing on Gurubashi, it is for me a PvP, like a pure PvP server. I don't see anyone on this PvP server that doesn't want to PvP at one point. So, truthfully, it's really PvP centric. Something that in Classic Anniversary is not always the case. You have a lot of PvPers that are on the PvP server on Classic Anniversary, for example. But you have also a lot of PvEers that would not even like dare touching PvP except for a rank 14 grind, and that's it. They don't like PvP, but they are on a PvP server because they know that PvP is the most. This PvP server type is the most popular one, more populated one, where the best guilds are, kind of, right? That is the fact. Which, why are you? Really? Nah, he could kill me actually. Nah, okay. I'm going to kill him. Unfortunately, that was not my goal, but that was not my goal. But thank you for the XP. Like I was just like leveling my axe progression, man. Why are you hitting me? I'm like so many levels more than you. But whatever. He did that. I would not kill a grey guy, but I got progression, so it is what it is. So basically, people are like choosing Gurubashi on purpose for the PvP, and like this is really early morning for me, right? For me, it is 9:43 a.m. There's not a lot of players, I think. There is 2,261 players. That is early morning, which is normal. It's an early Monday morning, but at like evening prime time, I would say even like before prime time, it is between 4.5k and 6k players. Now, if you're coming from Turtle or any other server, you would say 6k players. It's not a lot. It feels like a dead server, which I'm going to say in contrary, there are no layers. A lot of the zones are compacted because it is Azeroth, obviously. A lot of the people are leveling together, obviously, but also it is the perfect size for PvP. It is not overcrowded. You can do still quests. You can still do your herbs, your mining, your skinning. You can still like progress into what you want to do, but also, obviously, you have a lot of PvP action in the zones because they have call to skirmishes. Like yesterday, I lost a lot of time, and for me, it's not really lost, but I'm going to call it lost time in Hillsbrad, where I'm actively PvPing while doing quests. Like every time I see an alliance and I feel like, okay, I can 1v1 them, I will do it. Sometimes it was even a 1v2. Sometimes I get 1v2'd. Sometimes I get to do the 2v1. But that's world PvP at the end. And then it became like literally a 5v5, and we won some, we lost some, it was fun. And obviously, once you're hitting a mob, everyone sees you as a free target. It just is what it is at the PvP server. And you kind of have to love it or not. If you're like rolling on a PvP server, it is kind of what you're signing for. Same for like if you see an alliance hitting a mob, you know already like, okay, I'm already like one step ahead of him. Why not hit him? Because it would give me XP, which is like 1/4 of a quest. But also gives me progression to the call to skirmish, which is 4k, which is like 2 quests. So obviously it is unfair, but that's kind of the rules of the jungle, and I signed up for that, so I'm fine with that. I think Project Epoch, you could say that if you really want just the PvE side of things, there's not much to do because it is not like Turtle where they have like 7 years of progress of changes behind their back. They still have to do a lot. There are like a few new dungeons, I think. I think there's like at least one, which is the Glitter Musk Mines. Glitter Mines. They have reworked two dungeons, which are like very big reworks. It's not like a small, like one boss and that's it. Dead Mines and WC. You have a lot more rares, I think, in RFD if I'm in RFK if I'm not mistaken. Great, like SM Graveyard is a lot harder to do because they have buffed the mobs. So obviously, everything you're doing dungeons wise, it feels like less face roll. It feels like okay, it's meaningful. I'm doing stuff. That's something I feel like it's true. And not everyone likes that the dungeons are hard because again some people are saying that it's hard to heal, especially at early levels, because you don't have like healing spec or you don't have like the spells that you need to keep people alive. But for me, I find it very fun. It makes it very much exciting to struggle a bit in dungeons. Like I don't need to face roll in dungeons. Yes, sometimes you want to relax, but like you cannot have both ways, unfortunately. But I would say that what I like about this server is they have added like smooth like item progression in my opinion. The small things that they have added like gear wise makes sense. They have added PvP gearing throughout the leveling, so level 15, level 25, level 35, level 45, level 55, you have gear that you can progress with Warsong Gulch marks. And take it as you want, people are queuing for Warsong Gulch. Now it is early morning. I don't know if it's going to like pop directly or not. But yesterday, once I was like doing a bit of BGs and I get wrecked because I'm quite low level, level 34 right now. It insta popped, and I'm horde side. I guess for Alliance it could do the same because I see always the same faces, so that's a fun thing. I like to have like rivalries, I would say. Once I have seen like, for example, a Druid Pendragon. While I was like leveling in Hillsbright, I see him in Warsong Gulch. Then I see him in Alterac Mountains. Like I see, okay, that this is the guy I wanna like destroy because I have seen multiple times that guy, right? And I kind of like that feeling that it is like a PvP server where it's not like abundance of people. You don't have layers. It feels like meaningful to do, and that's really a classic plus to me. What I do like, again, like I said, the PvP gearing is not like OP for PvE. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good gear, but I could get probably better legs at level like 25 even for pure PvE. Okay, the 1% hit is helping me, but like at the end, intellect is what you need at the early levels because you would get regardless for a few spells if you don't have enough mana. Or for example, these boots are like okay or good, but like it's not like exceptional at that level. These ones are good. For example, the chest, you get like 9 spell power, which is something you would never get at level 25 in a classic setting. In a classic bus, that is possible. Like those, like that head is not exceptional either. Like you could probably make the same through leatherworking or through buying the auction house. And that's a segue I'm going to give again. Like I think the provisions are really well made. You have things that are meaningful. For example, even though like again you don't really necessarily want to make that because it is like spending heavy leather for nothing because it doesn't help, like level your leatherworking. But like having this, for example, it's 8 stamina buff that you would get on a bracer, which could help you with like surviving a PvP encounter or tanking, for example. Or here you get attack power, raw attack power. So if you're a rogue, you could like take that. Why not, to do more damage on eviscerate? Or for example, if you just want to like pump or heal, you could play the heavy sorcerer kit, and that's like a leatherworking thing. So you cannot have it if you like a blacksmith or if you like an engineer. You cannot have leatherworking heavy sorcerer kit, for example. And those are like cool things. For example, living cloak, level 23, you get literally 12 healing done which is like the mini like cloak that you would get from level 60. It's literally what you could make right now, and it is not really expensive to make. Like I already have it, by the way. I made it for myself. You have plenty of things. For example, this build, I don't think it's like on classic, if I'm not mistaken. I think those hands are also not available in classic. This is available in classic. You have a lot of things that are like available, but like improved, and that's what I like. For example, you have a lot of the simple stuff that you can make, and then you have also BOPs. For example, at 185, I would be able to make a BOP, which is like 9 agility, 12 stamina, and 12 spell power or something like that. Which is perfect for me as a shaman, because I'm also hitting melee, so if I can crit as a melee strike, that's always good. But also more armor, because agility gives armor, and obviously spell power, which is going to help you deal damage. And I'm elemental shaman, so any spell power I can get is a pure damage boost towards my damage. Through my fire nova, my frost shocks, my lightning bolts, my chain lightning, that helps immensely, more than you would think. So really having a lot of fun like exploring stuff. For example, also like being scanning gives me more damage done to beasts, and it is like a minor thing because again I'm not fighting beasts every single time, especially in PvP. It is kind of useless, but still it is quite fun as well. I think the few things that I have added is making it more classic to me. If I want to discuss a few things, like I'm going to keep on positives, but I'm going to tell the things that I would like to change, obviously. What I like is the quest progression. I feel like it is way more simpler to level. Now, the issue is I'm Horde, so it's very hard to compare with Classic, because Classic Horde, I never played beyond level 30. I played Horde at Wrath of the Lich King, which basically, at that point, there was like LFG, looking for group dungeon finders, so you could literally like just spam dungeons, and I didn't really do Classics too much. If I was Alliance, I would do more of a comparison, but I know some quests that are not original, they are very good. For example, also the Blood Arena in STV is very good, although, again, there's so many people around that you're doing bosses with 20 people be below the level 43 requirement, for example. So you get a big weapon. For example, this weapon should not be a level 32 weapon, but you can get it at level 32. So again, it's like a mini whirlwind axe. I think it's even better than a whirlwind axe because it gives agility. So it's really good. But yeah, I think that aside, I think the quests are really well made and it's scripted, so I don't have any issues with that. And that's maybe a thing that I would like to see on the Classic Plus setting for Blizzard. They have to add new quests, and like not runes, for example, from SOD, where they have added a few sporadic quests for runes. But I really want like quests that give XP and good items here and there, which would help. I don't want to kill the rogue. He's level 24. He's quite low. If he's attacking me, I'll kill him, obviously. But he's attacking me, I'll kill him. But yeah, I think overall, I'm happy with what they did. It's not Turtle WoW, obviously. If you're like looking for PvE, you're going to be disappointed because you don't have a lot of stuff currently. You don't have really new zones. You don't have that many leveling dungeons. You don't even have raids open right now. There is a lot of stuff that you would miss from a Turtle WoW. For example, Ambershire is very popular. But if you take, for example, all the 3 servers together, it's more than Ambershire. And you can have a fun with like Turtle WoW, and that's okay. But for example, for me, the client really is the bottleneck for me. If the client was 3.3.5, or if like PvP leveling, because PvP leveling is really fun on Epoch, but also the PvP gearing is better, then I would like give it more of a chance. But for me, rank 14 is such a prehistoric system. It is classic for sure, but it is not like making it more fun to me. It's making it more drastically annoying, and I am a PvPer, so I don't mind PvP. But like, I don't like to have like a time spent thing around my neck, to the point where I have to do weekly PvP brain dead AV spam to get rank 14. While I am more in love into the real PvP, which is Warsong Gulch, AB, Eye of the Storm, any BG really. AV, if it was reworked, which Epoch will rework AV, that will be fun. I kind of look forward to that actually. But like overall, I'm happy with Epoch. Now, the few things I don't like about Epoch is that obviously some classes at early game, they have incredible things, they get incredible things, and then some classes get absolutely nothing, or like really the minimum, or they get like into a specific role where there's no reason to do everything else. For example, I'm going to give you an example. Paladins, I think having to auto attack the whole way through until you have Crusader Strike kind of sucks. It feels like it's Classic Plus, definitely, because of the quests and the PvP and the other systems and the gearing and the professions. But truthfully, the class itself is not Classic Plus. You could even say like it's TBC talents, and that's okay. But truthfully, it doesn't really change anything for Paladins until a very late level. And then you're going to say, but yeah, he gets down, he gets a taunt, he gets free consecration, it could be already very big for them. And that's true if you're like a tank like enthusiast, or you're like a protection paladin and you like that. You're definitely going to have a great time with Project Epoch, because you're going to get a taunt, you're going to get the consecration, you can even like tank outside of being protection until like a certain point. So you can go Retribution Paladin and tank, or you can go Holy Paladin and still tank, because you don't really need any points in protection to be able to tank, although it will make it more smooth because of the block chance and the block, the amount of block damage you can have. But truthfully, the gameplay is still the same. You could literally do the same as it's not even TBC. It's TBC, but it's like the damage itself, what you're doing, like hitting mobs, is literally classic. So I would suggest, again, I'm going to suggest for every single class of thing, because I did talk with a lot of people and I do see what I see right now. I would suggest to, like, I have a BG right now. I'm going to enter the BG. I'm still going to talk. We're losing, so not going to be a big deal. I have Wind Fury, but like I'm elemental, so it's not going to be impressive. I would add Holy Strike or Crusader Strike at level 6 or level 10 even, I don't care. And put like a upgrade or something like that towards the talents if you don't want to change too much. Don't need to change too much. You could even do Divine Storm, because Blade Storm exists for warriors. You could put Divine Storm, so they have an AoE option. That could be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's really, I could have healed that guy, but F it. They could add that. Now for Shaman, the one thing I want to see, and they will add it most likely, is that you kind of need to, how it's called, add the Eye of the Storm talent. And Eye of the Storm talent is the pushback talent, and that just makes it for way better, smoother PvP first and foremost. And he is like taking no damage, bro. Like, kind of insane, to be fair. Like, whatever. I'm not gonna not gonna do anything there. Like, I need gear. Like, he has 3.4k HP right now because of the. Okay, he's dead. Did I heal you? I healed you. I'm gonna slow you. Never mind. Miss. Like, that's why PvP at lower levels kind of sucks, because of the miss chance. But for Shaman, Eye of the Storm is really, really needed. So that would be nice. So Eye of the Storm should be here, for example, or should be like somewhere at the first, like row 2 or row 3, basically. And that would help a lot with how it feels. If you want to add something extra, it's very hard. I don't know what you could do for Elemental Shaman, because I feel like it's fine. Maybe Flame Shock crits, but that would be maybe too hard to implement, because you have to change every single crit. For Enhancement Shaman, I think it is fine how it is, for sure. I think Enhancement Shaman doesn't need to be changed too much. I think they already get like Ghost Wolf, which is like instant Ghost Wolf, which is very cool. I would probably add a way to tank. That would be nice. So you have an extra tank into the game. Do they want to change the whole role system around like raiding and whatever? Do you want to have a shaman being able to raid like tank MC? I don't know. Could be. But I'm going to heal him. Please, get healed. Alright. Oh, he's going to die. Okay. Survive, man. I'm here. Like, more strike is so strong. Going to heal him. He should be fine. So I would add maybe tanking, maybe. But even though that, like I said, that's really a system change. Like, it's like adding healing towards mages. Like, you're adding new rules towards classes. So if you're adding tank, you're also adding like PvP. Like again, I would not say that. You would add like shaman tanking into raids, which you then need gearing for that, and like some sort of a support towards that playstyle. I don't know if you really necessarily want that. It's going to be a long video, so grab something to drink or eat. I would also add, for example, for Restoration Shaman. Again, I think the biggest change they should do is like put a dual spec. For, I don't know, they could do it. I would add for like dual spec for 100 gold. 100 gold, I think it's fair at level 40, well, level 30 maybe, because it would be fun to be able to play Restoration Shaman. But I can't level as a Resto Shaman. It's like very miserable. Like there is no reason for me to level as that. So you will not see me a Resto Shaman. Even though I want to play Resto Shaman, right? What else can I say? I'm going to use Grounding Totem here. Dispel. Okay, he's dead. Alright. Good XP actually for what it is. I would say for Hunter, I would call nerfs, to be fair. Like I want to see pets being nerfed. It's kind of ridiculous how much it actually tanks, how much like actual damage it can do. It feels like it can burst down like 1v1, even though the Hunter doesn't hit you with like bow and range attacks, like he's just only meleeing. It feels like incredibly strong. So can I use Tremor here? Oh man, wait, I need to save him before I can actually talk about that. I would do that maybe. There's not many changes I could do to Hunters, because I feel like they are already very strong. Changes that you could do is maybe make it that if you disengage, that you can jump at the same time, so you could actually disengage, because it feels like disengage is like a leap of 2 yards or 3 yards or 4 meters or 3 meters depending on where you are. So obviously I should have. Good. Obviously it's not that impressive. But I think they have like a really good toolkit, and that's for me talking like early game. I guess it's not the same in like at level 60, which is fine. But I think like pets overall, they're like really annoying. Like they are very tanky, very good, very consistent as well. So I think it shouldn't need a nerf. Let's talk about mages. I think Arcane Blast, something is wrong, because it does like 800 crit at level 37 onto me, which I have like damage reduction. I feel like that should not be a thing. I'm going to do a healing wave here. Grounding Totem. Healing wave. Oh man, I wanted to Tremor. Well, you're dead. Unlucky. Yeah, that Fury is going to be very annoying for me. Oh, I'm dead. I'm also playing with Other Shield as Elemental Shaman, so that kind of sucks. But like Arcane Blast does a lot of damage. I feel like Frostbolt does no damage. I don't know again, it is normal because casters don't really scale that well at early game. So it's the same for me. Like I'm doing 200 lightning bolts, and some people do melee strikes 200. So there is something normal at lower level that is just like a fact. But like Arcane Blast doing that much damage with Arcane Barrage and Arcane Missiles, and they get so many good things in Arcane that it feels like it's a whole different class like compared to others. And is it fair or not? I would keep it like that, but nerf the Arcane Blast. There's not much I can say like that you could add. I feel like that's why I say like some classes feel like they're like completely good, like Hunter, Mage, for example, while other classes they have bugs and they have like features that are gone, and they maybe don't really like fit in that environment. Weirdly enough, so that's something I would add or remove. What else can I say? I think polymorph as well, like the spirit region, it feels like a bug, so fix that as well. Warriors, I think like rush, like victory rush is very good, but what they need is actually like bug fixes, and bug fixes. Once they have that, I think it's fine. I think the worst offender is pretty much like Retribution Paladin. If they have like somewhat of a thing with like Crusader Strike, I think people would like hate it a bit less. Like that was a bad BG, but at least I won a bit of marks. What I would add towards Druid, I think like Rake, for example, it has no scaling, still does 10 damage per dot, like per tick, which is dreadful. So it means that it has no scaling. Tiger's Fury got changed and it is actually very good, but like having Rake do no damage. Rip is like attack power based, but even then it's still also not that good. I feel like the bleeds playstyle for Druid is just not engaged yet, so there's no reason to play around bleeds. What else can I say? I think Battle's Rid as well, they still have a mana issue. And that's normal because it is TBC Boomkin. Do you want to keep that TBC playstyle or do you want to add something? I think it would be nice to add like a mana steroid towards Treants, for example. You don't need to add too much stuff, but for example, if you pop Treants, you get like mana back or something like that. Like simple things. You don't need to add new talents. You don't need to change the whole playstyle or whatever, but you gotta help the classes to be like very complete. What else can I say? I think it would be nice to see like again for them as well. Dual spec is very big. For rogues, I feel like they should scale poisons. It kind of sucks that poison still doesn't scale, so there is no reason to play assassination because it has no scaling. If it had scaling, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is, but like I have seen the talents, I have seen the rogue, like in general the poisons, they don't scale with attack power, I believe. The damage that you're doing is pretty much what is written on the poison, and it is buggy. So I would say fix that so assassination can be played in PvE or in PvP. What else can you say? Like access is good. Like they have added access towards rogues, which is again a progression towards like gearing, which is cool. But it needs like something like, for example, bleeds and poisons to scale better, so you can actually play around that. That would be fun as well. And fix the stealth issues because I feel like sometimes there's stability and still I can see them, which should not be a case, I think. But that's it. What else can I say? I think I have missed Priest. I think Priest is kind of boring because they did like it's pure TBC, and the leveling wise people are like having to smite and holy fire, and I think Shadow Priest is still not like really viable for mana at early game, which is fine. I think again I think a lot of the stuff I'm saying that it gets right at level 60, but it would be nice to have maybe Shadow Word Death earlier, for example, so you could actually like level a bit more faster because of like the execute. It would be nice to have maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking there's not much you can add towards Priest without making busted, but it would be nice to have like something like Devouring Plague for every single Priest, for example. Not really racial related, but like have a second dot at level 14 or something like that. So you could actually like have Shadow Pain, Devouring Plague, Wild, or Mind Flame, whatever you're using. It would be more fun, and without like a big CD, just make it like a 20-second CD or something like that, so you don't multi-dot everyone. But it would be like quite good, and like drop the mana on it. That's what I would suggest. I think Smite Priest is viable. Like I see a lot of people like smiting and holy firing, so that's good. But that's a change I would do. Did I miss something? So I did talk about Hunter, Shaman. I did talk Rogue, Druid. I talked about Warrior. I talked about Paladin. I talked about Priest, Mage, and I didn't talk about Warlock. Well, Warlock, I think the issue is most people are playing around dots, which is fine. And that should be the case. It doesn't scale well, but I still believe Warlock is very strong in Epoch, especially for PvP, because Fear is so strong. I feel like also like the fact that it doesn't scale well in early game, it's mostly because of gearing. If you had like a lot of spell power at level 20, let's say you have 200 spell power, those dots would just wreck you. But that's obviously not the case, and it should not be the case, because then you have like a power creep issue. A lot of the stuff that you would say that is bad right now in the game kind of fixes itself at level 60, because you have the HP, you have the gear, you have the spell power, and it becomes way better. And a stable affliction, for example, looks kind of good. I think most people are going to play SL though. But you could play Destruction Warlock, like Drake Dog style, or you can play like Affliction Warlock, which is also quite fun as well. So I think Warlock itself is fine. I think also the Spellstones is a nice touch. It's like, again, CC removal, so you're going to destroy like anything that is magic related. So it's going to be quite good as well. But I think in general, Epoch, they just need to fix a few things balance-wise. But overall, that's kind of the Classic Plus I look forward to. It doesn't need to change too much, and that's a bag, so I'm going to sell it most likely very soon. Project Epoch doesn't need to change too much to make it like exceptional. Right now it is good, but it could make it exceptional by being a bit more active in the balancing, to be active. Like, I don't know what they're doing right now, and that kind of sucks. I wish they had like more of a pipeline thing, more of a communication thing. But right now it's not the case. But I'm trusting them. And if you love Turtle and you're looking for like something a bit more PvP oriented, I do believe like you can have that playing Project Epoch. You have more PvP active. You have somewhat of a good community, I would say. And especially like Urubashi, it's such a good server because it is quite balanced. It is not super balanced because, again, it's, I think, 55-45, which kind of sucks. But they said that they will incentivize alliance a bit more, so it doesn't like drastically swings back to like a very big server. Again, if you're into PvP and you want to have fast queues, you kind of have to go alliance, and it is not cross realm and not cross faction, so it kind of fixes itself, but because some people like value queue times way more than anything else, which me too. Like, I'm going to make an alliance. I can make alliance and horde on the same server, so that's cool. I'll be making an alliance to also see the quests from alliance. I'm going to make alts. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I do want to see what Blizzard would do on the Classic Plus, like a real Classic Plus, a titled Classic Plus. But until now, I think it's a great way to have fun and spend your time with a private server. I think right now Project Epoch is like 8 out of 10. Like, I would say 7.5 out of 10. And that's because I have seen some bugs that are really annoying, and they are going to fix it. But outside of that, I think the content they're going to produce will fix itself in time. Like, they're going to add more zones, more dungeons, more raids, more gear. Maybe they're going to do balancing where playstyles are going to be more viable. I look forward to that. So again, thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate you. I think right now Project Epoch is a good server that you can play right now if you are looking to PvP. I think if you're looking to PvP, this server is the one. like Gurubashi, Project Epoch is the PvP server for me that is like surpassing anything turtle related. And it's going to be very active. Like you have guilds that are like actively trying to do world PvP to align the alliance side and the horde side. So that's a fantastic thing. And I look forward to play Alliance so I see the changes. I'm going to make a review once I'm level 50, 52, 53, where I don't know if I'm going to change my mind or not, but I'll be for sure trying to talk point per point and see if it still stands at level 52. So again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.